to say day 2, even though you could say that yesterday was day 0. But we're not going to do that. We're going to say that it is day 2 of the time that my life begins to shift around my decision and desire, that I'm consciously taking control back over my life. And I'm making these videos daily, even though I may not have a ton of information each day to share. I'm going to try and make them daily because I think that details do matter, and what goes on in the day-to-day, especially when I'm trying to show something happen in such a short amount of time. 6 months. Each day does make a difference, and so I'm gonna share with you some of the thoughts that I've had today, and we'll go from there. So, waking up, typically I would say that I'm like not strange in this sense, that most people probably do this as well. When I wake up, I automatically grab for my phone without thinking. It's like an automatic thing. I just, without thinking, grab my phone and I start scrolling, checking notifications, checking apps, whatever. Well, now I'm trying to make a conscious decision, a conscious action to, when I wake up and before I go to sleep, my last thoughts are, or first thoughts are affirmations reinforcing what I am trying to accomplish and what I am trying to attract, what I'm trying to manifest into this reality. So I have written up a short list of affirmations that I am repeating, which I started yesterday, before I go to sleep, like right before I go to sleep, and as I'm laying in bed, and then when I wake up. And that's actually quite difficult to do. Like, it seems like such a simple thing that would take no effort, very little effort or thought. And yet, it takes a great deal of effort and thought, because it's rewiring what has been programmed for years and years and years and years and years. For years, I mean, I don't even know how long. Probably since I got my phone when I was 15, so that's 20 years. I wake up and I pick my phone up. Okay, so for 20 years, I've got to rewire my brain now from that very hardwired pathway to, now I'm going to not do that, and I'm going to do these affirmations instead, and program my conscious mind and subconscious mind to be aligned with these thoughts and desires and decisions. Unfortunately, I don't think that I am going to be able to read those affirmations on the video, because I would have to leave out of my camera app and open my notes app, and I don't think I can do that at the same time. So, but I can tell you that it's like, I'm pretty sure the first line is, everything is exactly as it should be. And then, everything is working for me. And I don't know. I would rather just read them all out, because I don't have them memorized at this point. So if I'm able to figure out a way to do that, because I'm not trying to do some fancy setup with a nice office and multiple cameras and a tripod, and right now I'm driving to work. I have a 2.5 hour drive into work, So probably certainly the days where I'm working, I'll be making these videos while I'm driving to work, because I work night shift. So, I mean, I'm not gonna take the videos while I'm at work, and I'm sleeping in between shifts during the day, so this is the only time that I would be able to make the videos. And I may not even make videos on all of those days, because there's no, there may not be a good real need to, but so that's one thing I'm trying to do consciously, is changing that one little thing, is making that conscious decision. And that's for subconscious programming, conscious programming, and just keeping focus on the signal from the start and finish of the day, to try and make it so that throughout the day it primes me for being focused on the signal versus the noise of life. So I did that. I can tell you that within the first, because you got to remember I work nights, so I woke up at like 3 p.m. It may have even been a little bit earlier. It might have been like 2 p.m. But anyway, I woke up, and within the first few minutes of being awake, my thought was, I want Zaxby's. Okay, well, first of all, full disclaimer, I had Zaxby's, and I'm wanting to change that. That's not something that I want to continue to do. But that's also another thing that is really hardwired into me. And that's one of which, I mean, Zaxby's, I mean fast food. Eating fast food for every meal. So that's one of the affirmations that I'm saying as well. It's something along the lines of, I love my body and I am nourishing it every day with food from the earth and water from the earth, and it is easy for me to eat healthy and to drink water. That's like one of the affirmations. Trying to program my subconscious and conscious mind to really want to do that every single day. So far, obviously, can't say that it's working, but it's day 2. So I think, it's not that it's not working. It is working, but I'm still getting echoes and feedback and reflections of that 35-year-old programming. Like, that's not just going to disappear on the first or second or third day. It takes time for that to flesh out. So like I said, things are still going to come to the surface. Things are still going to show up. Things are still going to appear that look contraindicated with what I'm trying to do and accomplish and be and attract and have and manifest all this. They're not going to look like that. They're going to look like the opposite of that. They're going to look like what my life always used to look like, because it's coming from those decisions that I made yesterday, week before, 2 weeks before. I want to say that I it's funny because I have so many conversations in my head thinking about these types of thoughts that I'm like, did I already share this on my videos yesterday, or was I just talking to myself in my head about it? So I don't remember, but in case I didn't share it in the video yesterday, it's like having a kid. When you and your partner decide, okay, we want to have a child. Is your baby born that day and you've got a little baby in your arms right when you conceive, the egg and the sperm meet, and then you wait 9 months for that baby to gestate and then be born. It's not like, okay, I've made the decision, boom, there's the kid. There's a gestation period. And it's the same with anything else, especially with thoughts becoming reality. It's the exact same concept. It's happening, the thoughts go into the field, into the ether, into that energetic realm, and they start to begin to form more and more density, more and more, they become more and more like collapsing of other timelines until that timeline is what manifests. But that takes time, because we're not living in, like, if we were outside of our body and we were living in the energetic realm as energy, like in our true form, then we could just have a thought and it would immediately be there. And a lot of times when you hear like near-death experiences, people who have gone back to the other side and come back here, that's what they talk about. They're like, I thought it and I was there. I thought it and it happened. As soon as the thought came to my mind, it was. And that's how it is when you're outside of heavy density. But when you're within it, it takes time for those things to collapse into this reality. So I can't let myself be discouraged that I had Zaxby's and feel like, oh, I failed. You know, this isn't working. Look, it's day 2 and I'm already failing. I can't have those thoughts. That's something that I've had come up. Like, I've wanted to think that, like, oh, look at this. I mean, nothing's changing. I'm still making the same unhealthy choices. Like, and this is such a little thing. And you know, that spiral snowball of negative thinking, which is old programming, fear-based. It's all trying to keep me back in that reality. But that's not true. That's just an echo of yesterday's thoughts. So, okay, I had it. No, it wasn't great. Something that I can say is that I don't feel good after eating it. And so, like, I feel heavy and I feel just bogged down and not, like, it sucks energy out of me. Whereas I'm sure that if I had chosen to go and get some salad from the grocery store and eat a salad and eat some, you know, some earth food, that I would feel good. Like, I would feel great. So this is all a part of the process. It's not that I'm failing. It's that I'm, you know, allowing yesterday's thoughts to flush out. And as these videos and days, like, I'm going to keep recording and keep showing the gradual process, because what's going to happen is each day, and this is in my affirmations as well, I say each day reality begins to reflect more and more the decision that I made. It is already done. But it takes time. So as the days go on, I'll begin to more easily eat healthier and drink healthier. I did bring my water with me to work, because the place that I work, the water there is so disgustingly awful. It tastes terrible. So I absolutely won't drink the water at this hospital. And so I just brought it's like, it says 100, it's a 3-liter bottle of water that I do mix a sugar-free tangerine mix into it, because I just don't like to generally drink plain water. But I do want to drink a water, you know, basically, I would like to get to the point where I don't need to have any flavor stuff in there. But right now I'm happy to just do a flavor thing in some water, versus what I've been doing, which is, and I did get sweet tea, you know, I did. So, but normally I just drink sweet tea and Dr. Pepper and energy drinks. Like, it's so, it's incredible what we can do to our bodies, and they persist, and they, like, don't just completely die. I mean, like, we are killing our bodies, but it takes, like, a long time. It really holds up well, considering what we do and put in it. But yeah, so, you know, the thing for me is, like, I have to not be discouraged, but rather be like, okay, you know, acknowledge it for what it is. Like, yeah, okay, I had Zaxby's, I'm drinking some sweet tea, but that doesn't mean I failed. That just means that the old is flushing out, and tomorrow or my next choice. I'm going to drink water after this, and I'm going to be making better choices, and I'm going to be reflecting more and more the decision to eat and drink healthy. So, yeah, that's kind of, I guess, something sort of relevant of what happened today in this journey. I did talk to my sister on the phone today, and it's interesting because she is kind of like, we're twins. We're fraternal twins. And we don't talk a lot. We're not like super close. But we do have that very natural connection and relationship to where when we do hang out, it's like we were never really apart, and we fully understand each other, at least in that kind of intuitive twin way. We disagree on a lot of things, but there's that connection that twins have. So it's interesting because she seems to be on the same journey and the same path of trying to like live completely freely, completely independently wealthy, really focusing on her mission. And that's what I'm doing too, is focusing on my mission. Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? And, letting that come into this reality. Let it become our realities. So it's super interesting to talk with her about it. And she seems to be doing really well too. Like, things are already starting to manifest in her life kind of rapidly towards her desires. She recently got, I don't know that I think she got fired. I guess she got fired, laid off, whatever, from a job that she had for a long time that she was really good at. It was a research job, and she was very attached to it. She knew that she was not being treated well, but she was afraid to leave it because it was safe for her. She knew it. She thought, I should just stick with this because I don't know what else I would do, and this is paying the bills and all the same things we do, And she got fired. She didn't have a choice at that point. And then she's like, okay, so I'm gonna look into different things that are going to support my big picture goal, what I want to accomplish. And all of a sudden, all of these things are just falling into her life that are perfectly lined up with those goals and desires. And it's really cool to see that happening in someone else's life, especially when it's like your twin and it's happening kind of at the same time. Well, even though like she and I never had called each other up and been like, I think I want to pursue this path of independence and manifestation and pursuing we never had a conversation, anything like that. And yet that's what we're organically doing on the same timeline. So that's super cool. But it's also just cool to see that happening in her life. It's a little bit difficult to have conversations with her about, like, I didn't bring up to her what I'm doing, because like I told in the video yesterday, my family are hardcore Christians. And so anything that doesn't align with Christianity and the Bible, not open to it. Like, they're very, very, very adamant that if it is not aligned with the Bible, they are not open to it, because that would be ungodly. So it's difficult for me to have a lot of the conversations that I would have with other people, because I know that it doesn't align with her belief system, and it'll rub her the wrong way. She'll get defensive. She'll start trying to spit like Bible stuff at me. And I don't see how that's beneficial for either one of us. So I haven't really, I don't know at what point, if any, maybe if things, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say maybe if things, when things start manifesting very obviously in my life, I mean, I would imagine that it will have to come out what I'm doing, but I guess my thought is I'm going to be discouraged. I guess my concern and fear is that she's going to seed doubt and discouragement into me about the way that I'm approaching what I'm doing, and she'll reinforce old programming and old fears and old limiting beliefs. Oh, it's not and maybe I'm wrong. Historically, I would say I'm right, but maybe I'm wrong. But that's why I haven't even broached the topic with her. Although, let's face it, this has only been going on for a day, so it's not like I've been, hiding something from my family or whatever. And I'm not even sure why I'm getting into this on this video. It's just the thought that had come to my mind. But really, I'm just trying to stay focused on the signal, focused on what I want. That's the signal. The signal is the desire, the decision, what I want to see manifested into my reality, and not letting noise, which is fear, limited thinking, limitations, all of the things that keep us where we are, which is where we don't want to be. Letting go of that and remembering it's already done. The version of me that is living in a gorgeous mountain property, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres on just a beautiful, I'm gonna guess it's close to $2 million property and home, just based on what I'm seeing in my mind. So multi-million-dollar property, that person already exists. The infrastructure, the home, everything already exists. I am simply aligning with, wait a minute. See, the problem is I'm doing this video while I'm driving, so I get to look at people who don't know how to drive at all, and it's hard not to make comments on that in this video. Also, I think we might be having flash floods here, which I did not know we were going to have. We had a flash flood where I live a week or 2 weeks ago. I don't know, something like that. And now, oh my gosh, this has to be another flash flood, because there's got to be at least 6 inches of rain on this road right now. I'm trying to think what I was even talking about. Oh, and I don't have my lights on. That's fantastic. Speaking of people who don't know how to drive, I'm sitting here like a dumbass without my lights on. That's great. What was I saying? Okay, so yeah, that person already exists. I already live there. And I think that from all of the videos and all of the people who have already manifested what they want, the thing that they all say is I lived in that energy. I lived as that person before I even had it. So I envision myself in that home. I envision myself on that property. I envision my dogs running through the forest after the side-by-side that I'm riding through the trails on my property in the mountains with, 10 beautiful imported dogs running after it with me. Just living. I'm envisioning this life of my dreams, and I'm living in that energy of joy, of contentment, of of beauty. And I'm living as though my account already has millions and millions of dollars. I envision $5 million in my checkings and $50 million in my savings account. And I open my phone and I see those numbers. And I think, that's already mine. And I'm trying to completely live as that person now, before that happened. Imagining and living like that. Okay, so that when I do have physically in this reality $55 million in my bank account, that doesn't feel new. That doesn't feel different. I've already been living that life for, 6 months before it even happened. So those are things that I see being like key things of people who have already manifested their desires. So I think that'll pretty much cover it for today. And I will be back with a new video of tomorrow's reality and what's new. Oh God, yeah. These roads are bad. So I'm going to get off here and focus fully on this driving, and I'll be back with you tomorrow.